Everybody, welcome to a beautiful and magnificent Saturday. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody is absolutely beautiful and having a wonderful time. I'm going through a bit of a rough spell. Um, I honestly think that it is second round of ascension symptoms, and this is where it occurred last time in my lower back, and this time it is really hitting me hard in my hips. And I am really having a hard time sleeping. I can't sleep. I can't get comfortable. So and I just find it ironic that all of these things are happening now since I had that moment, that spiritual moment again. Not this last Sunday. Is it 2 weeks now? I think. Yeah, 2 weeks now. I had that quantum jump, and some weird things have been happening out of the clear blue kind of things. But so I'm sitting in a different position. If you guys can see, because I can't sit. If I sit for any length of time, which generally talking to you guys is 2 hours, right? I'll be up for the rest of the night. I'll be unable. I'll end up walking all night long back and forth in this hotel room because I can't sit down. So I'm sitting on pillows and stuff. So if you see me adjusting myself, that's why I'm in excruciating pain. And again, that second round, I do believe it's second round of ascension symptoms because last week I had that quantum jump and now weird things are happening. As I was walking, I felt a tingling or somebody touching the back of my head just now. Um, just weird things have been happening. But anyways, we had a good live stream last night about what is God. Somebody asked me today, well, if God, Jason, if there's God, then why isn't there a devil? Why isn't there hell? And why are we taught so wrong, right? Why have we grown up? Like I said, the language that I knew was Christianity, right? And Christianity taught me that there was a hell, that I was unworthy, I was an abomination of my father, and that he despised me so that he was going to send me to a place of everlasting damnation. Well, as I've told you guys, or many of my followers that have watched me, and if any of you were Christians, and some of you were, or Catholic or whatever, um, at a very early age, I, quit going to church. I was heavily abused, especially by my mother, hardcore alcoholic. And, you have the funny drunks and haha drunks, or you have the evil, wicked, nasty. Well, guess which one I got? That's all fine. That's all fine and good. But so at a very early age, I quit the church. It was clear that God did not love me, right? From the abuse and from everything that was going on. So basically, I outright rejected the Holy Spirit, right? Fuck you. God, you can go that way too. Jesus, you can go F off too, right? So from that point on, I knew I was doomed. Hey, how's your day go? Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain, as I was just talking about. I think it's second round of ascension symptoms. My back is killing me. I can't lay down. I can't lay on either side. The only time it feels good is if I go take a real hot shower and let the hot water beat down on it. And if I pace back and forth in this hotel room, if I lay down for any length of time, I'm in excruciating pain. Sitting down hurts too, but right now, if you see me adjusting and all that, it's because I'm in pain. But other than that, I'm doing all right, buddy. How are you? I love it on here, but can't hear very well. You can't hear me very well, or what? Um, just let me know if you can't hear me. I can put in ear pods on my earbuds and see if that works. Um, oh, okay. Gianna, hi, hon. How are you? Hopefully I got the name right this time. It's good to see you. Um, and I got some good comments on you, hon. So I'm going to invite you in a little bit, okay? A lot of people want to see you back in here just because, of your STE. So we can have you explain to everybody your STE. But I was just going over some things. So early on, guys, as I was abused as a kid, I quit the church, right? It was clear that God did not love me. It was clear, right? The beatings, the abuse, the this and that. I learned very young from my grandparents how to take care of myself, cook, clean, all that, right? So at that point in time, I knew I was doomed. When I started going to Catholic Church, I really knew I was doomed because it was the outright rejection of the Holy Spirit. That is the unforgivable sin. Why did I think that way? Because I thought what I was being taught by the Catholic Church was the absolute truth, right? God, devil, heaven, hell, angels, demons. Well, I found out 49 years later that was a big pile of shit. So and the reason I'm just covering this topic quick is because somebody asked me about this, and why not? So as you all know, I have never hid anything from you guys, and early on too, I had bisexual experiences, and it says right there in the Bible, I am an absolute abomination to my Father, punishable by eternal hell. Not to mention, I've outright rejected the Holy Spirit. I'm doomed, and I knew it. So I grew up a very resentful kid. I mean, as an empath, I knew who I was. I didn't understand what it was. I just knew that I loved deeply, even in relationships that were doomed. I still love deeply, right? But I had that chip on my shoulder. I just didn't care anymore. The big double bird to everybody. Fast forward, I've done unspeakable things to people. I said unspeakable things to people. And here I am dying in 2020, April 2nd, 2020, coming up pretty quick, 6 years. So now the unspeakable is happening. I know I'm facing hell. I know I'm dying, right? And I'm hooked up to the ventilator, all of this stuff, tube, IV in the carotid artery, which from what I understood, restarted my heart. Hooked up to the ventilator, arms and feet strapped to the bed, right? Then I have that day, the infamous day where I had no business doing this. I have difficult sleeping in my vivid dreams when sleeping. It's absolutely normal, buddy. It's absolutely normal. I don't have vivid dreams that often, but when I do, they are profound and deep. When I told you what was coming, World War III, it's going to branch out. Well, it is started already because more nations are involved. So it's pretty much becoming a worldwide conflict. Anyway, I cried out to God. I had the most profound near-death experience, the most unconditional love and knowing of who I am in the moment, knowing that the light and love that I merged with was that of my Father that was in the corner of the room. And in that moment, I also knew I had done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Nothing. Guys, nothing. And I knew I knew I was doomed, right? And the guiltier I felt, the more love that was bestowed upon me. We are not to feel guilty about anything we have done in this life. Nothing. I don't care what you've said or what you've done. You're in the moment of here and now. You are trying to understand who you are. There are no mistakes, right? There just simply wasn't the right path for me, whether it was something said or done, right? And I lived that. All right. So in essence, when I was trying to explain to this guy what hell is, all right, hell is simply the experience of the worst possible outcomes of your choices, decisions, and creations. You're a creator, you're a God, right? It's the natural consequences of any thoughts which deny your Father or say no to who you are in relationship to God. That's hell. If that doesn't click home with any of you, I listen to that statement again. All right. Listen to it because it's powerful. That's hell. Right. And in that moment, I knew what was created by the Catholic Church simply didn't exist. There's no place to go. Do you know what enlightenment is? When I told you last night that when I told you guys I'm enlightened, right? It's knowing that you have nowhere to go, that you are, in fact, indeed, one with the Father. Okay? That you're simply in creation mode, right? Figuring out who you are, and you have discovered who you are, right? That's enlightenment. That means the end of the journey, should I choose, right? So there is no hell except for the choices that you could possibly make, which would not only deny yourself, but deny who you are in accordance with your Father, your Creator. That's hell. I could never imagine going back, and I've spoke with other people, and I think Gianna said the same thing, right? I can never go back to who I was. That person is dead, right? This shell may be here, but what's inside, that's all new, man, right? So think about it that way. It's the experience of the worst possible outcome of your choices, right? Your decisions and your creations. You're a God. You are creating your reality, okay? And it's the natural consequences of any thought which denies your Father and says no to who you are in relationship to him. Let that sink in. That's hell, right? And often people say, heaven, hell, right? Your mind is full of BS right now, incapable, of making rational decisions. Oh, Jason, why do you ignore me? Why do I ignore you? Why am I supposed to know you, brother? I mean, but it's good that you're here. So, I just wanted to talk about that because he had brought up that there is no, what you all know as, and look at the light blinking, confirmation that there is no imaginary place for you to go and be burned and tormented. Right now, if some of you have heard or listened to other near-death experiences where they were dark, where they had what they would call a hellish experience. I am down here in physical form. We're all down here in physical form, brother, but we're all still one. So that means we're all God. And I have awakened. Well, I've been awakened for a while now too, buddy. And some people in here are awakening. So, but that's what I wanted to say about that. And God is simply here, right? Or he created the relative, which is this, which is, a dream and illusion, a place in another dimension where we can go like the test server and test things out. Okay. Why? Well, God, in all his magnificence, all that is, wanted to experience all that is not, right? In all his grandeur and all his magnificence, he still didn't know who he was. How could he? The example I gave you yesterday of, and you are in alignment, Marie, I 1,000% agree, right? So, and I'll give you this example and I'll go back into the explanation, right? The little soul walks in, he's this beautiful, brilliant white, as we all are, right? And he walks into this magnificent room, magnificent walls of the same color white, the ceiling and the floor, the same color white. And this beautiful, magnificent soul walks in there, right? How does he know he's white? Can't, right? So in all God's magnificence, all he had was conceptualization. He knew everything, but in order for you to know anything, you have to experience it. Okay. Same example I'll give you yesterday. It's impossible for me to know what a woman feels like when she is giving birth to a baby. It is impossible for me to know. I can't even give a description of it. And for me to even try and give a description of a woman going into labor and giving birth is insanity. So for anybody out there that denies somebody their near-death experience and listening to what the knowledge that they get and continue to get is insanity. You haven't experienced it. It's like somebody telling me, Jason, you should, go skydive. It's the most magnificent feeling in the world. Hell no. Why do I want to jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Right. So, but how can I get that experience? Same thing, right? It would be impossible for me to know until I jump out of a perfectly good airplane, praying to the God above. or wherever he is, all around us, that parachute opens. But until I do, I don't know what that experience is like. So for me to say it's just, okay, I'm sure it's a little bit fun. How would I know? Right? It's already manifested and working, Jason. It's not coming to the worst. Do not worry. That is not the reality I locked in. Listen to your own words. That is what I am doing right now. The universe is tuning. Now, you know what this guy's saying, right? He's actually pretending to be Father, right? Now, is that insanely impossible? No. Kind of like if you read Neale Donald Walsch, Conversation with God, this is kind of like the way it's going. He's telling me he's God, telling me what's going on. So if he truly knew what was going on, then he could explain to me the kind of position that I'm in right now, right? That I put myself in, not Father. So basically, long story short, all that is wanted to experience all that he was not in the moment of now. So in order to do that, he had to create a playground, a playland, right? For us to come and experience that. So then he created us. So we can go do and give him the experience. Everything today, guys, that you, from the moment you woke up, from everything that you thought, felt, and did, your father felt the exact same things. Exact same things. Whatever you had a conversation with somebody about, if you had sex, you took a shower, you stubbed your toe, he felt and did everything with you. Okay? So in order for God to, to go from conceptualization, he had to go to experience, right? He had to gain that experience, because until then, you just don't know. And that's why we're here, right? And we're created in his image and his likeness, period. We are little versions of our Father. Same power, same knowledge, same wisdom, same omnipresent, everything, right? We are gods. And Yeshua said it in the Bible. Isn't it written in your law? I said, ye are gods. Right? So we're here. We don't come here to learn anything. There's nothing to learn. Your soul, who you are, knows everything there is to know. Right? It's simply coming here to rediscover through the experiences that we choose who we are. Right? It knows and it seeks what we all seek, which Marie knows this very well. Right? It seeks the ultimate love. Right? It seeks the ultimate love. And once it gets that experience, it's done with it. Right? It's not that it's a bad thing, but it's going to move on to even more grander experience of love. Right? In these progressions and in these moments, right, we're slowly beginning to remember who we are. So hold on, guys. I got to listen to this. I tried to tell you a few months back ago, but you ignored me in physical form. What are you saying even counts for me? And I am the designer himself, and everything you say is right. That you got good comments. I would love to come on the stream, but right now I'm experiencing some heavy ascension. Man, I'm telling you, I'm feeling heavy ascension. I told somebody here last night that my back and my hips are in excruciating pain. I haven't been able to sleep, so it's very hard for me to sit. So even me doing this, I'll be up again all night, not being able to sleep. I'll be pacing back and forth. I don't know who this guy now. Really, if you listen to what he's saying, this whatever he is, Belkic, is, if you listen to Neale Donald Walsch, if you've read his books, right, about conversations with God. He had had enough of his life. He sat down, got a notebook, and he started, spewing out to God. And then God actually responded to him. And this is what is kind of like taking place here, right? I'm pretending to be Neil or Jason talking about Father, and now he is, or father is responding to me. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know if the other crew's going to come on tonight, guys. It's already 5:30. So, I know I'm not going to abandon you guys. So if they show up, they show up. Of course you do, because my presence even influences the field. Seek out. It explains everything. It will prove. So let me tell you, why are you coming in here then? I am the second coming, and I am not joking. There is no second coming, buddy. And when the second coming comes, so listen very clear, okay? The second coming is simply when everyone on earth reaches peace. I'm glad you listened to your guts, okay? There is no second coming. There is no rapture. There is no, there is none of it. So you're spouting untruths. So just stop it right there, or I'll remove you. All right. I know what's coming. All right. And there is no second coming. Other than that, when we all reach peace, that's the second coming of Christ. Everybody. Okay. We're going to ignore that. So anybody have questions? I'm glad that I'm experiencing some heavy ascension symptoms. Okay. Will do. Will do. Again, I think that's what I'm experiencing too, since I've had that quantum jump. Again, weird things have happened. So in January, I went to go, because I was told that I needed to be in Sacramento, right? So I went and got this. I looked at this micro apartment, had the job already, right? Making money. This place was 900. I mean, 900 a month for 100 square feet. I mean, it was basically a hallway that I would be living in, right? But it was 900 a month in Sacramento, following what I thought I was supposed to be doing. Never heard back from this person, right? And then lost the job. And then 2 days ago, or last Thursday, I got a text from the lady for the apartment saying, "Hey, Jason, do you still want it? You got it." And 2, I got a job interview for making decent money. And I find that very, very odd that after my quantum jump, not only did I get the apartment, which would be great if I had a job, but that job got chucked out the window. And now this job that wants me to go for an in-person interview is 2 hours away south from me. And that's not going to happen. So I like, really, what's up with this? You know, why did I, I did it. So why? What? I don't get it. And now all of a sudden, all this week, I've been feeling extreme extension symptoms like Gianna here. And it's my lower back and my hips I'm in excruciating pain. Last night was rough on me, guys. So, I'll make it an hour, but after that, so you guys throw out questions, anything you want to ask. User, in this world, I only experience duality. If something feels good, then the bad is going to come. There's no eternal peace in this earth. Well, you have to look, you see, you're defining an experience as bad, right? You're doing that. Who says it's bad? User. Okay. You got those values and morals from your parents. And this is what I talked about last night, right? And you're using those same values and morals, but they're not you, right? They're borrowed from mommy and dad. Okay. So if you were to step outside your life and truly look at what your values and morals are, you would see that you're following what your parents gave you, right? We all do it. It's inherent because mom said, that's bad. This is good. That's right. That's wrong. Those are your values and morals. And for the majority of the species, they stick to that. They're not even who you really are. You're just taking them from somebody else. But now, if the situation unfolds and Monday I've got to go live in my car, I'm not going to look at that as bad. Okay. I'm not going to look at it and be horrified. I don't care. It's something that I don't want to do, but I'm not going to look at the situation and call it bad, right? Who says it's bad? Society. Well, Jason doesn't have a home. Jason doesn't have any money. He's living in his car. That's bad. That's horrible. Who said that's bad and horrible, right? I am. So it's simply those values and morals that were passed down to you. Why don't you take a break and step back from that situation and find out who you really are and your own true values and morals, not what mom and dad gave you or grandma and grandpa or society. You take a minute to figure that out, right? And then you'll see that you're going to go down a completely different path, right? Most of the stuff we go through, and I told you, when we go through adversity or stress or something difficult, that's where we grow from, right? What I'm going through is brutally, it's brutal, right? I wouldn't wish this on anybody. I chose a very difficult life, a very, very difficult life. Well, the life of a chosen one, right? It's not God coming to me. It's a higher frequency. So, and it's difficult. It's brutal. But it doesn't make what I'm going through bad or wrong, right? It just makes it what it is. And somebody that can master that can simply see and just push it aside. It's something that I'll have to deal with. It's just simply what it is if I go down that route, right? I mean, I've still got a day and a half left, so we'll see. When people mistreat other people, is it bad? I'll put it to you this way, like I told you yesterday, with the war that is World War III, to say God doesn't care about World War III. Could care less. Okay. Now, does he care less about somebody mistreating somebody? Of course, he could care less. Adolf Hitler is home, guys. Jack the Ripper is home. Jeffrey Dahmer is home. Elaine Warhouse, John Wayne Gacy, the Zodiac Killer. They're all home. More than likely, living other lives. I'm sorry to tell you that there is no good or bad. We live by contrast, right? So if God, all that he is, right, and is not, he's got to experience bad, right? Does it make it bad? That's your definition of it, right? So, but not even definition. That's your judgment of it, isn't it? You don't get to judge, right? You came here to rediscover who you are through the experiences that you're having. Nobody on this planet right now, there was only one perfect human being. One. He lived 2 millennia ago because he knew the game. He knew the dance. He knew the song and dance, right? He knew it all. He was a master of it, master of the body and master of love. And he executed it with absolute precision and with unconditional love. Right? And what happens to all of God's teachers that are sent? Somebody like me, and I'm not comparing myself to Jesus on that mastery level. I'm not. I'm getting there. But what happens to all of those that come to talk about who Father really is? We're shunned, we're spit on, we're condemned, we're blasphemed, and most likely killed. Right? That's what happens to people like us that, I'm just not talking about my near-death experience. I'm talking about the nuts and bolts and the nitty gritty that need to be talked about, that need to be out there so you guys can make rational decisions and, go down a different path possibly. And that is what I mean. That is mentally in your mind, right? Giving you the tools to go out and be that person. User Marie, there are billions each defining what we feel is mistreatment. Like Jason and God doesn't have that same judgment. You are judging yourself, guys, if you were to sit and stop and think. Right. There's nothing to judge. And that stops with you guys. You are not to judge yourself. Quit being so hard on yourself. You're in the moment of now discovering who you are. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, this is a test server. It's not real. It's the relative, right? The non-physical is our home. Like I said, when I transitioned out of my body, I said, without a body, because I'm looking down at it, I have 360-degree vision. What did I say? That thought came, I'm home. Home. This is not home. Okay? All of this is just an illusion, a dream, a farce, the Matrix, whatever you want to call it to get by in it, right? That's why I want to have nothing to do with it. I stay inside, this hotel room until I absolutely have to get out and go do something. But other than that, you're not to judge any type of situation, including what's taking place in the Middle East, in Iran, right? There is to be no judgment. God doesn't care. He set up the game to win. There's nowhere for us to go, guys. There's nowhere for us to go. There is no eternal damnation. There is no judgment. None. The whole reason for your life review is simply this, right? When you stand before your Father, and you will, and I will, okay? And I truly don't want to see what I've done in my life. I don't. And I know I'm going to be shown it. And I know I'm going to feel it. Okay? I own it. I own it. But there is no judgment. The reason you have your life review and he's sitting there with you, right, is to show you what you need to continue to work on, right? He'll show you an instance. What was this about, right? You'll see it from both sides. You'll feel it from both sides. And you're going to look and you're going to say, yeah, could have done better. Boom, on to the next, right? And then it's over and you're home with Father, right? You've awakened. The second awakening is what I call it, right? That's where you go home. Body dies. You say goodbye to it, ditch it like a sack of potatoes, and you're home for a few centuries. Why a few centuries? Because it's hard being here, right? It's very hard on us to be here. The soul, it's brutal. We go away from everything we've ever known, which is unconditional love. And when I told you that kind of love, what heaven is like, it's like having the ultimate orgasm. Okay, at the precipice of that orgasm, right? When you're right there and it's right, that is what heaven feels like, but multiply it by 1 billion. And that feeling never goes away. It is ultimate love and ecstasy, purely. That's who we are. This is not who we are. You gotta rethink right now. We are not bodies with a soul. We are souls with bodies. Soul's not here with your body. True? So soul does not. The soul is seeking one thing and one thing only here, to know itself, right? And it seeks that through experiences, and its ultimate goal is to find that love, right? So when you find a twin flame or you find a soulmate, that connection, right? The soul seeks it. It's like a drug for us. And that's why you hear, I wear my heart on a sleeve, or I love so deeply, or to those that have had a twin flame, like someone in here, like Marie does with her husband, twin flame connection. It's undeniable. It's the ultimate ecstasy of love, right? And once you have a taste of that, there's no going back, right? So it's kind of like when you have a near-death experience or a spiritually transformative experience, a profound one. There's no going back from that, guys. Okay? So wow. That's what we're here for. And that's it. It's simply to rediscover who we are. So next time, when I tell you guys, when you go out and you look at the world, when you go out and go into work in the morning, just look around. All right? Don't say anything, just look. And know that everybody you're seeing is you. And the scene that you are creating is a collective consciousness taking place all at once. Mine, yours, everybody on this earth is what you see on a daily basis. When you go to work, when you go grocery shopping, when you go to a concert, go to a friend's house, blah, 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 right? You're creating it and did create it. The music you listen to, you created it, right? The kind of foods you ate, you created it. You wanted to experience it, right? So whether you're a vegan, whether you're this or that, Doesn't matter. You created it. The reason you like the music you do is because you put those bands in your life. It's part of you discovering who you are. Now, if you don't like the state that you're in and you want to change your values and morals, I told you how to change your contract, how to fix that, like I've been doing, right? You have to, it's a process, but you've got to go through it, right? As somebody said here, you are simply a multidimensional being having a human experience. Every single one of your lives is taking place right now, guys, right now. World War I is happening. World War II is happening. The crucifixion of Jesus Christ is happening right now. Okay? Everything is taking place right now. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 69 AD is taking place right now. Everything is taking place in the moment of now. There is no past, there is no future. It's now. That's why Jesus said, don't worry about yesterday. You can't do nothing about it. Why? It doesn't exist. Don't worry about tomorrow. It hasn't come yet. Do the birds not worry whether they're going to find food or where they're going to rest? No, neither should you. Live right now, because this is where life is taking place right now. Okay? So, and a chosen one is simply a much, much higher frequency, right? The higher consciousness doesn't change, right? Consciousness is Father, pure, unadulterated Father. You can't raise him, you can't lower him. Excuse me, he is what he is, right? So, but you can raise your vibration or your frequency in there, right? In that consciousness. So as I'm vibrating extremely high, you get those chosen ones that come in here to be light seeds or star, light workers or star seeds to shine the light in the world. As I told you in my second out-of-body experience, that I died over 3,200 times. I've been walking this earth for over 30,000 years, helping humanity evolve and rise, not in consciousness, but in vibration, right? And when you look at light, why white is so beautiful, right? Is because white is literally every color involved. It's everything, right? Why do you think Father chooses to show himself as white light, right? Who we are, because it's everything involved in one. It's not absent. Nothing is absent from that light. It encompasses all the colors, every single color there is. Imagine that, right? Same thing with the consciousness. He's just here to understand all that he is not, right? Again, knowledge is wisdom. Knowledge is power, right? To fully know something, you have to experience it. Now, to say, well, what's it like being shot at? What's it like being in a war right now on the ground with somebody shooting at you, trying to kill you? I would have no idea. I could say, hey, that's a great time. I get to run around and shoot guns. Somebody would look at you and like, you're out of your mind, right? How do I know what it's like, right? It would be an ignorant question to even respond to. I'd have to say, I have no clue, right? I have no clue. I can't answer that question. I don't have the experience in it, guys, right? So it's the same thing in your life. If you have not experienced it, you don't know it. So don't comment on it, right? You can say, I have no idea. That would be, I don't know, right? So through experience is how we grow. And the more difficult that experience is, the faster we grow, right? Because we want to know what the hell happened, right? Like, as I've been thinking all day and all week, why did I put myself here? What is here? Why did I put myself here? Why am I going through this again? Right? It's not fear-based anymore. I don't fear it. It means nothing to me, but why am I experiencing this again? Because what you fear is what you'll attract, like energies, right? So, where Paula Abdul said opposites attract, that's not the case in this realm. If you fear, what you fear the most is what you're going to attract the most, and it's going to keep coming at you until you face it. When I tell you guys to face your fears, right? So when I ask myself, what is here for me? Why am I going through this, right? There's no fear in it. I know what I have to do. I'll do it. But why? So that's the whole thing. Because light shines in the darkness. You're correct. What is darkness? It's simply the absence of light. There's nothing there, right? And that's why when you hear people that have a dark near-death experience or a hellish near-death experience, right? They're in the void. Now, what is the void? Okay, and I explained what the void is a long time ago in one of my videos, right? The void, ladies and gentlemen, is simply pure consciousness. Father, right? Except you're vibrating so low that you're in the basement. Why is that generally? Fear, right? Fear equals darkness, low vibration, low energy, right? So, and whatever experience they're having, and I could care less what it is. Howard Storm is the best example of that, right? When he's screaming at his wife, listen to me, and all of this, right? He's creating it. Except he's no longer in the three-dimensional world where things take a while to manifest into reality. Right there, it's instant. It's instant. It's instant. So, but then he somehow remembered God and our Father, and boom, there's the light, right? He raised his energy. He raised his vibration. I mean, he went from the basement, whoop, up to the mid-floor. There's the white light. There's Father welcoming home, right? There's the tunnel. He's being pulled by his guides. He's going to let you sit in that darkness until you figure it out, guys, right? He's experiencing what you are right now, listening to this conversation. Whatever emotions, whatever feelings you're having, God is feeling them right along with you, okay? He's experiencing. You're giving him that experience, all right? Freedom Eagle. Hey. Can't tune in now, but we'll watch later. Listen to the last video. Very interesting. Well, thank you. That is beautiful. Jason brought it up. The void. The void is pure consciousness, guys. It's not just something that's empty and this and that. Oh, no. It is absolute 100% pure consciousness. When you enter the void, as I did twice, well, once, the first time in my first out-of-body experience, that I went through was in the void, and I went through the tunnel. Okay. And it's pure consciousness. I was just as alive there as I was in my near-death experience, except when I mean void, I mean it is the void. There is nothing there but utter blackness. And then way out in the distance, I mean, could have been a quadrillion miles away, was a little sliver. I mean, a little, and I could actually see it like it was a 1-inch line. It was a straight little line. A sliver of light. And I'm traveling through this tunnel 2 years after my near-death experience. Traveling through the void in this black tunnel that began to spin with white light. I knew where I was, and I said, Father's listening to me. He's pulling me, right? And what I'm thinking is just nothing but pure unconditional love. And it was in abundance. And then before I know it, that little sliver of light is now, about 8 inches long. To make a long story short, I got so close to that light, I was a nose hair away. Now, if I would have transitioned into that white light, my body on earth would have died. Okay. I would have entered home, the gates of heaven, right? So I was pushed back into my body, and I was like, wow, he's listening to me. But it is pure consciousness. That is why if you want to think of a 10-foot demon with horns and fire, well, that a 10-foot demon with horns and fire is going to show up. If you want a pink kitty cat with, purple dot pajamas, then that pink kitty cat with purple pajamas are going to show up, right? It's pure consciousness. You are a God. You are a creator. You are in that mode consistently. When you leave here, when you're here, you're in God mode. When you leave, you're in God mode. What you want, you create. It never stops. You're a creator, right? You're your Father. So, Jason, would you meditate? When you meditate now, can you? Sometimes right now I can't because I'm in a lot of pain. As I told, you weren't here in the beginning. I think I've got like a second round of ascension symptoms all this week. since a week after that timeline jump or quantum jump, my legs and my hips have been like my lower back here and my hips. I'm in excruciating pain. I can't sleep. A couple days now, I haven't been able to sleep. The pain is just intense. It's maddening. I have to pace back and forth. Um, but I've seen the void. I've been in the void. When I meditate, it's like I say, when I meditate, I just do it to quiet my mind. I don't expect anything out of it. I want my mind to shut up. So when I get 20, 30 seconds of just utter silence, I'm in heaven. That's all I do it for. It's a me thing. Like I said, I'm not expecting anything out of it, and nobody that goes into meditation should. It's simply to quiet the mind, redirect, have a conversation with God, right? Get out your positive affirmations, the I am statements. Those are extremely powerful. Don't ever think that they are not. Those are profound commandments, right? To the non-physical, to Father. And they have and will come to you, right? But you've got to match that vibrational frequency. Tonight I will teach you how to remove all pain from your body. I would say here, but you have to be in a high vibrational state. Yeah. And, under the great deal of stress that I'm under right now, so it's hard for my mind to not shut up because it's trying to prepare for something that hasn't happened yet. So I'm just constantly battling that at the moment, constantly battling the pain that I'm in. But again, I do believe those are just second round of ascension symptoms, really. So they'll come and go. I take hot showers. I try and lay down and get sleep, but the pain is too much, so I have to get back up and start walking. I'll stretch a little bit, but it is what it is. All right. We got about 10 minutes. Anybody have any questions that they want to put out there? Sorry, my guys, my crew did not show up. I didn't hear anything from them, so sorry. Maybe the collaboration will be short-lived. Who knows? I can take a hot shower because it feels good on my lower back. I have it as hot as I can get. And actually, I can come down for maybe about 5 minutes of peace before the intense pain comes back. So, and again, it only showed up this week. Like I said, I had that. The apartment called me back 2 months later, and I got let go of the job. And then I got a job I had a phone interview on Thursday. And then they want me to go to this job interview, but it's 2 hours away. I'm out of money. I've got like 68 cents in my account. I can't drive for 4 hours. I'll have no way to fill up my gas tank. So that's just a sign that that's a big no-no. And I knew it was a no-no to begin with. So because it would tell my father that what I'm trying to manifest here with my business, with not only my YouTube channel, but my website, is that's not what I really want. Right. So I'm not going to go that route. I'm not going to give in to fear because that's basically what it is, right? And I just won't do that no matter what circumstance I'm in. And if I'm forced to go live in my car, then that's just what I'll do. But I won't label it as anything good or bad. It is what I have to do at the moment. That's what I chose to do. Not this had to choose, my higher self. Jason, what if someone isn't in alignment with you? If they're not in alignment with me, that's fine. They don't have to be in alignment with me. People come into my life because they're meant to be there. Those that are meant to be there, right? It's like when you go to a grocery store, right? How many people do you talk to when you're grocery shopping? Zero, unless you get to the cashier and it's just more useless small talk, right? So if they're not in alignment with you, they're not going to be in your life, right? Or if they come in, it's for a brief moment, right? You have a quick conversation, but then again, they're meant to be there. So it's generally when you're, like if you go to a concert, how many people do you talk to at a rock concert or whatever? You don't talk to anybody there. They're not in alignment with you. They're not meant to be there. They're just, you put them all there, right? But for those people that come into your lives for any significant amount of time for whatever purpose, they're in alignment with your grand plan, your life, right? So just look at it that way, right? The people that come into your life are meant to be there, and they're there for a reason because you asked them to. Remember, nobody is here by mistake. You came to Father with a plan, right? A contract. Hey, I want to experience this, right? You get it all squared away with your overlord, with your guides, with, you know, yourself, and then your archangels, and then, okay, off you go, right? So everything that happens in your life, the people that come into your life, they're in alignment with you. But everything else, like when you go out to a restaurant, you don't, nobody comes up and talks to you, right? And has all this grand, they're not in alignment with your life. They're just extras in a movie set, right? That's basically how you have to look at it. I was asked to be here for Jason. I didn't know about him. I was meditating one night and I heard his name, Jason Janis. Ah, well, there you go. That's awesome. I'm honored. Right? So when I tell you guys to be mindful of your thoughts, being constant mind. If you feel yourself slipping into a negative energy, instantly stop it. I'm stopping it with me, right? Because I don't want to take place what's taking place. That's going to possibly or could take place, right? I'm constantly battling that. All right. I don't want it to take place, right? I want, as somebody said, you know, poor Jason is suffering. Why is he, going through this? It's because I chose it, guys. Not this guy, the higher self. So when I get home, right, when I wake up, listen, pal, there's going to be no more of that crap. Okay. Unless you can go down there and deal with it. Right. But who knows? My next, this is my enlightenment. I'm not going to incarnate again, so I don't have to worry about it. And that's probably why my life has been so damn hard. But that's the life of a chosen one too. So, yeah. Glad you're here. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody have any other questions? Again, sorry guys, I thought this was going to be a collaboration. I'm not going to stiff you guys and just show up and, oh, they're not here. And then just cancel it. Oh my God. That I'm not going to do. So, well, good for you. Now, does it mean that we can't incarnate again? No. Life is a continual process, right? Eventually, by the time we get done with this, there's going to be a billion different versions of us on the cosmic wheel, right? So it's never going to end. Now, why doesn't Jesus incarnate after his he doesn't want to be attached to a body anymore. And now that I've had a true near-death experience, I have no desire to be attached to this anymore. I have no desire to come here again. I've done my duty, so to speak. So I just have no desire to be attached to a body. Remember, there's nothing in your body, your soul. When you always hear near-death experiences say, "Oh, I was, pushed back into my body." There's nothing in your body. You are wrapped around your body like a glove on fingers. Your soul just wraps around your body, and it's only one soul. Okay, there's only one soul. I and the Father are one. Each and every one of you are the same soul, wrapped around a, different incarnation. And that's what makes this seem so real, because you look out, oh, look at all the girls, look at all the boys. You have all identified with your body, right? Believing that it is actually real, that what you're actually seeing is real. I feel like a boy, or I feel like a girl, right? It's meant to suck you in. It's meant to draw you in, like heroin for a heroin addict, right? That's what this world is. It's addictive. And that's why Jesus said, do not fall in love with this materialistic world, for it will bring you ruin. All right. And look where the state of the world is in. World War III has just begun. Okay. More and more nations are joining in. Pretty soon, all hell breaks loose. And I told you guys last night that blackouts are coming. Okay. The world will shut off for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. Many, many times. And don't be scared or nervous about it. It's just the death throes. All of this has got to die, right? As the new earth is coming into, is being birthed. I mean, it's happening right now. And all of these things that are happening, it doesn't have to happen, but it's showing us, or to those who are going to be in the golden age, that this is unacceptable. Right? There's going to be no more wars. There's going to be no more famine. There's going to be no more starvation. There's going to be no more homelessness. We're going to be an egalitarian society, an equal society. Mary Magdalene, Jesus's wife, was his equal, right? That's why he had women in his entourage. They were his exact equals. Nobody was treated any differently, right? Nobody was subject or a subject to Jesus, right? Period. And that's what the way the world is going. And what you're seeing is, you're going to see more darkness. Okay, you're going to see more, I don't like using the term, but evil in the world. Okay, when these blackouts come, and we're talking no screens, no power, no electricity. Cars aren't going to be running. It's all being dismantled and thrown into the garbage, as well as our natural disasters are going to start picking up. Massive earthquakes, horrendous tornadoes, tsunamis, maybe catastrophic fires. I mean, it's happening, guys. And by the time 2027 comes around, you're going to have alien contact. You're going to wake up one morning and you are going to see alien spacecraft hovering above the trees all over the world. There's no hiding it anymore. The changes the ball has been pushed. It's rolling. There's no going back, right? So that 60% that wants to live in fear, they'll stay in the old earth. So like when the earth divides, like when you see an egg divide, right? So when the earth divides and the new earth goes into the higher dimension, the old earth will stay here along with that 60% that is living in fear. They will stay in the old earth. They'll be the ones that when they look up in the sky, freak out, go grab their guns, lock the doors, nail things shut, freaking out, which 60% of the earth will do. While me, I'm going to be out there welcoming them. I'm ready for, more knowledge, more wisdom, peace on earth, all that, love thy neighbor, which I do anyway, but I'll be out there welcoming, and they're going to, want to be with us because they're going to help us teach, evolve, technology wise, just not only technology wise, but knowledge, wisdom, right? I mean, they've been through what we've been through, right? They chose to say, no, we love one another, right? There's interstellar, right? Meaning from one end of the Milky Way galaxy, like Han Solo said, look, kid, I've been to one end of this galaxy and back, right? There ain't no ultimate power that holds all things together. That's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Well, I'm sorry, not only is there interstellar travel taking place, there's interdimensional travel taking place, okay? All around us, okay? The cat's out of the bag. We have a few more months before, we're 3 months in, almost 4 months, okay? This year's going to be over pretty quick, and before you know it, they're going to be hovering above us, right? Helping us. There will be no, what you see in all the Hollywood movies where all the aliens are here to kill us and, mangle us and, do weird stuff to our bodies. That's not what it's about. It's about welcoming us into a higher dimension, helping us evolve, right? Because what you're seeing is the end of wars, right? This World War III will be the end of it, okay? And it has to happen. So the more countries you see starting to take place, the bigger these conflicts are going to start. And then when the resurrections start in other countries, when they start fighting each other, like I told you, when the vaccinations start killing people off, right? Those 5 billion that took those vaccinations, they're going to start tanking real soon. So, it's happening, guys. So, all right, what do we got here? I am married to mine, except same love. Jason describes with his twin that we will be coming back. Magnetic, lots of synchronicity, hugging and snuggles. Feels like, yeah, it's when, if you guys remember what I talked about with that angel, that when I was living in my car, July, so August and September, right? So on October 3rd, when he came, and he said, Jason, you're in alignment and you're powerful. You need to move. First of all, I didn't ever mention my name. So how the hell do you know my name? And he brought up a certain situation because he could, of course, knows my thoughts when I'm having sexual fantasies about my twin flame, things that she likes and what we did together. He knew. So he's like, well, I have a girlfriend that'll do that for you. And I'm like, no. I have somebody back in Wisconsin and she's going through a tough time right now. My twin, you know what a twin flame is? And I said, so she's going to be coming out to me. And he said, reiterated, Jason, you're in alignment. You need to move. He showed me a thing to do. When he said, you are the light of the world. And we discussed some things about a job interview, and the job that I eventually got out of nowhere, right? And the job that I eventually lost out of nowhere. Said that somebody needed me. And I met that person when I went to go do Next Level Soul, right? When I had my interview with Alex on Next Level Soul, my Uber driver on the way back, a young Black woman, was the woman that needed me. And she used those exact same words. It hugged me, squeezed me, said the exact same thing. So everything that this angel said was going to happen, happened, right? Now I said, no, she's coming to me. And he said, yes, when you're established. And I'm like, what the fuck does established mean? Does that mean I have to have a 10-story mansion and blah, 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 right? And so my twin flame is coming, right? So how can I be established with the possibility of living in my car in 2 days? I mean, but I'm established. I'm in alignment with what I came here. That means my manifestations that I have been when I'm in meditation and the I am statements, they're happening. But that little block that I was stuck at, because I was blaming it all on Father. Why'd you put me here? Why do I need to be in California? Why did, I was established. Why did you put me here? That's the wrong terminology, right? So until I got past this block, and then that's the second time he talked to me, he said, get the book, go get the book. And I instantly knew what it was. Read it, started reading it, and there it was. Next day, or I got up and I had this profound moment of, wow, right? The block was gone. And I actually love being here in California now. Love it. The weather is, it's in the mid 80s and it's March. In Wisconsin, it's still in the 20s and 30s with possibility of snow, right? So I get up, and I've told you guys this, right? I came back from picking up some groceries and I had that quantum jump, right? I felt like I was moving forward into the car and I was white knuckling the steering wheel, stomping on the brakes real hard, and I felt like I was moving, like rapidly moving. And right now I was like, right? And I'm like, what the hell was that? Right? And my heart's now I feel like I have to throw up. I'm dizzy. All of these pains started. And I'm like, what the hell was this? I get back and I had to lay down on the bed for 2 hours. I was having those feelings of moving. I'd be on the bed and I'd put my hands down on the bed like, what the hell is going on? And that's when it dawned on me. I was like, wow. The block that I had that was stopping me from all these things coming in, my manifestation, right? I had quantum jumped into that timeline, right? So now this old version of Jason that was stuck doing this, he's going to continue moving on, right? Now I've jumped. Now, you call it divine timing, right? I have to wait for that divine timing to come in. Doesn't mean it's not coming in, right? It just means just that. When it's ready, then it'll come in. Ronald's here. How you doing, buddy? What's up, brother? How are you doing? It's good to see you. So, sorry about the other two didn't message or call, so I was still going to go on regardless of them. Just um, rattling off some things that all of you guys could use. A little earful of this and a little earful of that. I wish you're going to meet you amazing people. Aw, Samuel, that's so sweet. Thank you. I love you, brother. Don't ever forget that. Alex is a great guy. It was a fantastic interview. Next Level Soul. I was beyond honored to be there. So that was one of my better interviews that I thoroughly enjoyed. I've had a couple good ones, but that one was by far just being in his studio, and the energy was just fantastic. Angel numbers were popping up all over. From the time I got there were angel numbers all over. It was just where I needed to be. And that was where I had to fly to Texas, right? Because they don't tell you. They say, well, Jason, somebody, they need you. Well, who? Where? Is that why I'm in California? Because who's the person that needs me? Right? You don't get that information, right? You just have to follow your gut intuition. Oh, Vanessa's here. All right. An hour late though, but that's okay. Hi, sweetie. Come on in. Well, Vanessa is here. It was just an excellent interview. Things just flew, and when I mean flew, I mean um, it just flowed. It was just a great place. And then, like I said, when I met the Uber driver, she made a company joke like, "Oh, I was going to tease you about your name, Jason, Friday the 13th. Oh, what brought you here?" And then I was saying I was just doing an interview about my death, and she looked in the rearview mirror. She said, "You died?" And I said, we started talking, and I said, "Hun," she was getting emotional, and I said, "Look, hun," and I grabbed her arm, and I said, "I love you very much." And I said, "Make no mistake that I love you no differently than I love my own children." Right. And she was just sobbing. You could just see the tears coming to her. She goes, "You don't know how badly I needed this." And then I got that big whoosh of energy. Like, "What did you say?" She goes, "I really needed this. You have no idea how badly I needed this." Right then and there. That is exactly what that angel told me on October 3rd. That happened on November 22nd. Right. So if I'm in alignment, my twin flame is coming. What I am going through is exactly what I put myself through. This is my doing. It has nothing to do with God. God has nothing to do with this right now. Okay. This is all me. So if I have to go live in my car, I told you guys, I have 68 cents to my name and I have absolutely no groceries. Right. And I could care less. Right. I could care less. I know everything is right where it needs to be. And if this is something that I need to experience, then it's what I need to experience. How much? Well, I'm in the hotel room. It's $550 a week, and I should have paid for it today, but again, there's no money. Um, so it is what it is, right? It's the life of a chosen one. So it is what it is. But I know, I keep falling on that. I'm in alignment and my twin flame is coming, right? She's going through a dark night of the soul. Her marriage is ending, or if not, has ended. And she's in that stage where, how do I get in touch with him? How do I talk to him? How do I reach him? She's being estranged from her family because they're diehard Christians, and his family is, right? So, and there's Vanessa. Hi, hon.
Hello.
How are you, hon?
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Hi, hi.
Yeah. Wait, let me see because I have no fun. Let me see.
You're an hour late.
Oh, Oh yeah, is it that the time change for you?
The time change happened last week. Yeah. It's 6 o'clock here.
Remember, no,
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock.
let me wait. I remember I don't have. Yeah, the issue is that we here in Puerto Rico don't change time. So
Oh,
I'm
see, I
not,
didn't know that.
no, we never change. Our time stays because we're right in the equator.
The equator, sure.
Yes, so our time never changes. And if they don't tell me when it changes over there, if you don't tell me, I will never know that it did because I'm not actually looking after, So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Here it's right now it's 9. It's 9. So it's the time that I normally join you guys. That's why I waited until now. I didn't know that time had changed. So sorry
Yeah.
for that.
Oh, it's
If I
okay.
would have if I would have known, I would have joined earlier. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's
But
okay. I was just telling them that I've been going through I've been in a lot of pain lately. I think it's the second
yeah,
round of ascension symptoms. My hips really hurt and my back really hurts. I mean, I can't lay down and I can't sleep. So the
I
only time I can get any relief is when I walk. I'll take a hot shower. I'll do some stretches. But the moment, I mean, it's not. Even when I go to the bathroom and try to sit, it hurts, right?
I
And I'm like,
understand perfectly. I've been going through it this week. Believe me, the
you
last 2 days.
too?
Yeah, the last
Oh,
2 days for me have been incredible.
I mean, it is insane
Beyond,
how bad.
I
Oh,
know. That's how it's been for me also. Very
oh,
extremely, yeah, my body, pain in my arms, the center of my back. Uh, yeah. So
right.
I get it. Yeah, I
Uh,
understand.
And it's so
Very,
frustrating.
very
I was
intense.
like, it is very intense, right?
Yes.
Yes. And
Very extremely.
I'm like, so I'm putting pillows and I'm like trying to sit on this chair just to try and, so I'm tossing back and forth. And it only started this week. And I'm thinking um,
Yeah,
that it
it's
only
terrible.
happened after my time jump, right? So the week went by, but then the beginning of this week, I was like, why am I hurting? Right. And I'm like, what? And then I would get headaches and just even trying to sit or, I mean, it's just like all night I'm pacing back and forth because it's just, then it'll go away and I can lay down for a little bit and kind of doze, but it's not, well, then I wake up and I'm like,
Yeah.
right. And I'm kind of like,
Yes.
what? So I'm like, I'm chalking it up to ascension symptoms. So, um, anyway,
Yeah.
we were,
Yeah. Yeah. And
so,
you know what? I had one of those time warps that you had this week.
what happened? What happened? Tell me. It's so weird, that feeling.
For all people. Yeah. No, I had never had that before in my life. Believe me. I was time. I don't know. I just cannot explain it. I thought I was living like for me and still. Uh, so hello to everybody that's saying hello. Oh my God. And sorry for my mishap. Okay.
No,
So
you
with the
didn't.
time change and everything. So basically what happened was let me see. I don't even know how to explain it because here I was I thought we go 2 days back, right? On Wednesday.
Thursday. Went so 3 days, right? So
3 days
Friday,
back. Oh,
three
yeah,
days. Yeah.
it is Saturday. So I don't, because it was very intense. And the thing was that it was Wednesday and I thought it was Monday. Okay, I was living like if it was a Monday. And so I was expecting to do some stuff. And I received on, let me see, on Wednesday, let me see, on Wednesday, I thought it was Tuesday or Monday or something like that. The thing was
So
that I get
your days were all messed up.
were all a mess. Okay, well, at least honestly, I was living like if that day was that day. Okay, and all of a sudden on Thursday, which I thought, look at this, I thought it was Tuesday.
Wow, you're off
And
2 days.
so I see this message, right? From a person that always sends me messages like, have a great day. You know, I receive those kinds of messages over the phone. And so it said, have a great Thursday. And when I saw that, I grabbed my phone because here I was planning to do some stuff on Tuesday. And he was telling me it was this. So I got really like confused and I didn't understand. So I went and I actually checked the phone. And I literally saw that it said Tuesday.
Wow.
So I laughed, right? I laughed and I said, "Oh, that person he got confused." And
I still don't believe
I
it.
let it. I let it go, right? So I let it go, and basically I went the whole day thinking that I was in Tuesday. All of a sudden, I go to bed. Here, trash picks up very early in Friday morning. Okay, so I always, when it's Thursday, I get my trash out, and I know they're coming. I'm expecting them. So here I am sleeping, and at 5 o'clock in the morning, I hear the truck, and I hear the truck outside my home, and so I said, I got up because I said, wait a second, today's Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. Oh, they changed the date for the for the for the trash pickup. They changed the day and I didn't know. Let me check my phone again and see if somebody, because I live in a closed community. Okay, so when kind of things happen, when they're going to change, they inform it through a chat that we have in common. So I checked the chat and I didn't see anything saying that it was had been changed for another day. And so I went, I said, oh my God, I guess they'll have to leave because I'm not gonna go run now and put everything out. So I said, that's really weird. I said, really, really weird. And then I went to bed again, but I stayed like in this like confusion. I was really confused, really confused. And then I I woke up, right? Finally I woke up from bed and I did my, my normal things that I do. And
You just seem so discombobulated, girl.
yes, very, very, like, totally. And then I checked the phone again, and that's when I see that it says Fry. And honestly, I said, what the hell is going on? I lost a whole week because here I was thinking it was like Wednesday, and time, like, for me accelerated and I didn't notice. So I cannot explain it, honestly. So I was very, very very confused about that. I had never had that happen to me. Never. And again, it was 2 days off. It's a lot of time that I lost. It's like
Yeah.
I don't have track of that time at all.
See, now,
So
both times
really,
that I've done that, I've never lost track of time. It happened like in the instant, in that moment, right? Like the first time
yeah.
happened in 2023. I was sitting on the couch and I was having a powwow with, the old man, and, manifesting like that. And I had a good meditation basically. And I got up and I was going to go do something. And all of a sudden I just went, I heard a pop like that. Like, and then I got dizzy and my lips went numb. Like, and I'm like, I grabbed my computer and I was like, what the hell is this? Right. And I
Yeah.
got that nauseous feeling again.
Nauseous.
Right. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I got the. I had
you
the
got the,
nauseous feeling.
right.
Yes,
And I'm
yes,
like, my nose is I was like, what the hell was, and I had to go sit back down for like half an hour.
yes.
And then I said, I just jumped into another dimension, right. And when that happened to me again, when I let go of, I guess it was basically accepting responsibility for my life, right? And because I had this illusion of being a chosen one, was Father came and picked me for this. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's why when I was like, you did this, what did you put me here for? Right? Why the hell am I in California? Why? In this shithole? Why am I here? Right? And hating my life, actually, because I didn't think I did. Well, I love my life, but I wasn't loving where I'm at, right? So
Uh-huh.
I was in this negative energy, even though I said I wasn't, right? Teaching all of you the right things, but it's like the pot calling the kettle black, right? I'm teaching
Uh,
you all, but I'm not listening to my own words, right? So when he told me to go get the book and I went down there, got it, oh my God. I was like the light bulb. I mean, ding, 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 all the light bulbs came on, right? And I was like, wow, I did this. Father has nothing to do with this. I did this. It was like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders, right? And I was
yeah.
like, I got up and I saw I got up and walked, and I've just felt like this orange glow around me, like this halo. And I was just filled with this love, right? And I realized that, that was the small block. I kept griping to Father, what's stopping me? What's the problem? Where's the roadblock? Right? Why am I just stuck in this ditch? And it was that moment when I went that morning, and that's when that quantum jump happened, right? And when I got the
Yeah.
groceries coming back, I got on the way there, right? I'm having this good time, music playing. What do? I look down and it's 11:11 in the morning. I was like, come on,
Yeah, that's
right? I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, come on, right? And I'm in a good mood, and all of a sudden I come to that stop. That semi was over there, and all of a sudden I started moving really fast forward. And I'm like, and I can't breathe. And I'm like, and I'm like, foot's jammed on the brake. And I'm like, whoa. And now I feel like I got to vomit. And I'm like seasick. And I'm like, what? And I'm still holding the steering wheel like this, and I'm like, what was that? Right. And I'm looking around like something happened to other people. Like, and I'm like, whoa. And I'm driving like a grandpa. Like I just want to get home. I laid back down, and I'd be doing the same thing to the bed because I'm grabbing a hold of the bed because I'm moving again. Right. And I'm like,
Yeah.
for the last 2 hours. And it's such a bizarre feeling, as we
It's
talked
a
about,
very,
you know,
very, very strange feeling. I had
it,
never, and I felt the nauseous feeling. I was nauseous the
yeah,
whole week. I've been like this. It's been a very, very intense week for me, at least.
right.
Very,
And
and
that then the
yeah,
body pains came, right? It's like, and I was telling the other people here earlier, it's been a bizarre week. This last Thursday, I got contacted by an apartment that I went and saw in very beginning of January, right? And I never heard back from them. They wanted me to move in at the end of January. And I had this job that I was working. It was a lot of hours, but I was bringing in enough to more than pay for that. It was a lot cheaper than what I'm paying for here, right? So I said, yeah, I'd take it. It was only 100 square feet. So it was basically like a
yeah,
hallway that I was living in. It's a micro apartment, but California, sure, I'll take it. In, Sacramento, where I thought they wanted me, but it was me wanting me to be there. So I never heard back from them. So on Thursday, they call me up wanting me to take the apartment. And of course, we'll have to verify, your employment. Well, I don't have a job anymore. Now I get that phone call, like you, remember Mrs. Indeed, right?
Exactly.
A job that I applied to at the very beginning of February, right after I lost my job. They called me up Thursday, an hour later, and had a phone interview. Now they want me to come in for an in-person interview. Now that's 2 hours south of me. I can't drive 2 hours south, right? I've got about 68 cents in my account, and that would eat up all my gas. 2 hours down there for an interview a job that I may not get, right? And then to drive 2 hours back and not know. Now, why would that happen? Right? That's bizarre. Why would that happen? Maybe to get me mad, maybe to see if I'll freak out about, I don't know. And then I get all of this pain in my back and my hips. And I'm like, what do we got here? Jason, Ronald Decker, just talking about his timeline jump last weekend during the collaboration. I was just had one shortly after that. That's amazing. Yep. What's up, my guy? How's it going? Alex, I'm doing all right, man. How are you? Was just vibing to some music and saw you. Oh, all right. Well, welcome, brother. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So now all of these strange events are starting to take place, right? And now I got this excruciating pain in my back, and I'm like, what's the purpose of this? And I was just like, maybe ascension, really? Am I being bombarded with more high energy light, right? Because that's the only time I really had that back pain was in 2003 like that, which was excruciating, right? And that's more high energy light being absorbed into your body. And where does it always begin with? In your back, in the lower base of your spine, your root chakra, right? So I was like, why am I going through this now? And I can't sleep because I can't lay down. The only thing I can do is walk back and forth. People say, oh, I want a beautiful near-death experience. Yeah, you better
watch what you
watch what you ask for, because it's not what you want, right? Your life has ended, and it's a constant transformation,
when you're caught, when you experience, especially being a twin flame.
I miss her terribly.
Especially being a twin flame is a very intense journey. It activates you in a spiritual path. Okay, so these type of relationships are really intense, and because they're energetic. Okay, they're energetic entanglements, and people, unless people understand, only those that have lived this type of experience can understand it. It's very difficult for people, and I try to, when they ask me, for example, to speak about those things, I try to explain people that having a twin flame is okay. It's like, I compare it to having a, what we call, not fraternal, but twins that are born from the same sac, right? And the ovum divides in two. So that's exactly the type of bonding, right? It is one soul that divides into two. So the person is you, basically.
Basically, yeah.
That person is you in an opposite, in another person, right? So it's a soul that shares. It's a soul that shares their same soul. So it's a mirror, and it's not like being like when we call soulmates, right? Well, it's not soulmates. Soulmates are fraternal twins that still they have a similar, right? Similar. They were born in, but they're born from different sex, amniotic sex. So the relationship of a twin flame is very intense, and especially if you have a twin that is not doing the work that you are doing. It is very extremely taxing on the person that is doing the work, because basically that person is, you are taking all the energetic charge, okay, and carrying literally, because everything you do will affect the other person. Everything you work on yourself to better yourself to will affect the other person.
Oh, yes.
And will also pull her, but I have to say that there's a lot of people that resist. The runner, the one that runs away, resists doing the work. Okay, that's the one that's vibrating more in the male energy than the female energy.
So that's why I'm feeling all that girly stuff. No wonder I'm the female now. Oh, look at that. That all
Well,
makes sense now.
you're picking up. You're picking. Well, let me ask you this:
Yeah.
who 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 ran away in your case?
Well, I ran away first for a little bit, for like a week when this was happening, because it was so intense, right? Because we were both married and I didn't know what was happening. I had never felt a connection like this. I mean, literally, when she would like brush against my hand or something, I would feel lightning bolts like through my entire body. Like it was like, and my desire for her was unrelenting, right? And it wasn't because I wanted to see boobies or butts or crotch. It was all of her, right? I mean, it was the
Yeah,
whole,
no, no. This
you know what I'm
doesn't
saying?
have to.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what I'm
sure.
saying is I ran first and she tracked me down, right? But then she became the runner. And then, when I broke off the relationship because I won't give the reason why, but I said, you need to go work on that. And then we
Yeah.
haven't seen each other for 11 years, right? But now I told you that when you heard with Tammy, when I said on October 3rd, that angelic being said, yes, she's coming when you're in alignment. And I'm like, what does alignment mean? Why don't you guys just tell me what you want me to do so I can go do it? What does alignment mean?
Yeah.
Like somebody
No,
needs you. Well, who
it's
needs
the
me?
balance inside of you. That's why I
Right.
called you guys,
I
because
know.
when I heard that date specifically, that caught my attention
Because it's
for sure.
that's my twin flame's birthday. Right.
And that's
So,
my birth. It is
all
my
right. And
birth.
that's your birthday. Right. So I just find it ironic that they show up on her birthday and say, yeah, you guys are going to be together when you're in alignment. I'm not alignment. When you're, what did I say? What did I just say? When you're established. Well, what does established mean? There's 8
Established.
billion people. 8 billion people. Who needs me? There's 8 billion people on the planet. Who needs me? Right? How did I know that I had to fly to Texas to go, but it happened regardless. So I know she's coming. So, and like I
Established
said,
means balance. When you
and
are
that's what I'm
balanced
thinking.
in your two energies, in your two energies. But
And
yes, I would like to know if there's people in the audience that has this type of experience or type of with their other parts, if they've ever experienced
Verena, hi, honey. There's one person in here
oh yeah,
that has a twin flame. Yeah.
yeah,
And they're married.
yeah, because and let me tell you, there's another kind of relationship that can feel that we can miss let me see, we can confuse ourselves that they are twin flames, but truly there are what's called, it's not platonic, but plutonic relationships.
Really? Don't mind me,
Uh,
my back. So I'm just.
yeah. Yes, and we can get them misconstrued because they can surely feel, okay, very alike, but the plutonic not necessarily is the person, and we can be confused about who exactly our twin flame is, okay. Yes. It's really
It's
weird, but yes.
it's a
Uh,
it's a phenomenal um, feeling to have
yeah,
found that kind of connection. And when you realize what it is like you said, it's literally finding you, right? It's
yeah.
your
Finding,
very own frequency, right? So
and
that's
because of
why. Go ahead.
that is that you separate, right? You
Yeah.
separate because it is not easy. Look, it's not easy for us to look at our own selves at an energetic level. So, right there, because that person is going to trigger every single wound that you're carrying,
Oh yeah.
because it is a mirror. It's and it's a journey that's called so that you guys, both twins, separate and work on themselves healing. That's the main point here. Healing, because you mirror that person and she mirrors you back, and so you both trigger each other, and that's why the separation happens, so that each one of you, but in separate works whatever needs to be healed
Yep.
and needs to be a balanced energy balance. uh, and so that's the point, because it is a relationship that's going to push you to be more spiritual, to be a better person, to be more connected to the spiritual side, and to pursue doing the work, the inner work in you. So it's going to force you to do that, and that's why these types of relationships can be so intense. But yes, you are one with that person. It doesn't matter the distance, the age difference, which
Yeah.
they
There's an
normally
age difference. Yep. She's younger.
there is, yes, there is a big age difference, or a cultural separation. Like, for example, a person that is in India and you are down here, and cultures are very different, and beliefs of those two people are very different, yet they feel this intensity, right? Physical separation also, you being very far away from where that person is. These are typical flags that a twin flame relationship is on. And when you meet this person, it is a you don't know why, you feel like you've known this person for your whole life,
Yeah, she
normally.
said it's so weird. She goes, "We're so interconnected." She goes, "I don't understand." And it, when I look
it,
back at it now, it's true because
it
it's like, how do you
yeah,
know me so well? And it's just like, I,
yeah.
and I even said, I said, I have no clue what I'm doing. She
Uh-huh.
goes, "Eh, it's just a bizarre, but such a profound love. It is,
Yeah,
it is
you feel
so,
that these are typical signs that you are in a the age difference, the that when you meet that person, you feel that you've known them from long before.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
feeling. It is again because the soul recognizes who this person is. The
Yeah. Oh,
soul
without question.
recognizes. It is a recognition at a soul level, an energetic recognition.
And our
But
brains are trying to figure
again,
out
your
what is
brain,
going on.
exactly, our brain does not understand that.
Right.
So it can be very confusing. Uh, but there's quite a few signs that we um that we are in one. But it's really intense. Yeah, definitely. I know from my experience, this was the main reason I woke up.
Well,
uh, One of the, aside from my STE, right, definitely this was the trigger, so that I would start working on myself, in myself, and doing the inner work that I needed to do. Uh, so yeah, but it is a very, 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 because it is a mirroring relationship. When you feel that you're going like through things that are very, right, very intense, that other person is living the exact same thing, the
yeah,
exact same
because
thing.
when I said she's coming here, and I said, but right now she's having a dark night of the soul. I said her world is collapsing. She's going through a bitter divorce. I said she's, losing her family and her children. And I said, like I did, and I said she's moving out here to be with me. And he said, yes, when you are established, right?
Established.
Yeah, and then now we're saying that it's established in the mind that we're free of,
Oh, balanced within,
balance. Where right, and that's when that
your
quantum thing.
energy
Right,
feels balanced,
right,
that yin and yang, again,
right.
the female energy and the masculine energy, or the positive and negative energy within you, the
You know,
electrons, protons.
I
To
just
put
saw
it in
this
science so people
this
understand.
I saw angel number 2727 for the first
Oh,
time, and I was like, 2727. I was listening to some meditation music because I was trying to calm my nerves and back last night. And when I looked at it, it's ironic that you were saying that, because listen to this. I think I kept it up. Um, oh, hold on.
okay. Here I see your vision means you are going through the baptism.
Balance, partnerships, harmony, cooperation, faith in your life path.
Anima and animus. Yeah, anima and animus. Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so
so
I.
trust your intuition, spiritual progress, balance, spiritual and practical life, relationships and connections. So that's a pretty good sign about um, what we were just talking about. I've never seen 2727 before. I've seen
No.
all of the lower one. Oh, and another one, when I came back here, I saw 8484. Look up 8484. And I was like, where are these big numbers coming? Like, why is all this stuff, you know? And it's just like, it's all coming. It's like I get the sledgehammer
I'm
all of a
always
sudden.
living like that, Jason. I wake up and it's, since I wake up, I start saying 10, 10, 11, 11, 1, 2,
I
3,
do
4,
too.
1, 1, 11, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4. It's intense. For me, it's
It
really,
is very intense
yeah.
all
So
the
I
time.
wonder, you guys, yeah, I'm seeing 3977, 222 all the time. Well,
Yep,
222
two
is
two
the
ten.
number because it's right? Two means pair, okay? So it means associations, relationships, everything that is pairing, right? Has to do with the number 2. Business partnership, everything that collaboration. So all those messages are behind number 2 for those that are seeing those numbers, okay? Number 1 is the number of new beginnings, right? And when we're seeing number sequences with number 1, it means that we need to be very conscious about uh, what our thoughts are, okay? Because we're manifesting very fast, and so we should be very mindful, okay? Number 7 is a very spiritual number, and my husband has, oh, okay, yeah, the number 7 is a very spiritual number, yes. So we need to, it comes right after the 6 for me, because there's different meanings also for each person. Like I've learned, like number 6 for me, I interpret as balance, right? But number 7 is the same as saying also relationships. Has to do a lot with relationships, because number 7 is the sign of, well, months. Let's say month 7 is the sign of Libra, okay? In the sacred geometry or astrological. So, and the sign of Libra has to do with us, relationships, not necessarily romantic ones, okay? Relationships with our parents, our sons and daughters, all kinds of relationships. And also has to do with the spiritual side of balance. I'm gonna look for, because I have all this in videos that I do, okay? And I have them written down, so we can go over that. Let me look for them so that
If
I
you guys
can.
have Chat GPT, type it into Chat GPT. That's what I do, because a lot of different places going to give you a lot of different meanings for each set of different numbers, but one is going to resonate deeply within you, and you'll know that because you'll hear it and you'll feel it, right? Then just take that one, right? So, but also as a reminder, when you're seeing these numbers, that's the way the angels are telling you you're right where you need to be. Okay, that you're right where you need to be. That's a sure sign, whether it's on a license plate. When I got done going to Denny's, when I first got into Sacramento, the server waiting on me was 7777, right? So I was right where I needed to be. And that's their way of communicating with you. Like when I pulled in here for this last week, I saw angel number 8484 on the license plate, as well as 111. And they were side by side. That's them telling me I'm right where I need to be, right? Going through what I need to be going through. But I see 222. That's when I know I'm right where you need to be. When you see those and you're thinking, why am I going through this? Why am I having a shitty day? Why is this happening to me? And you see that, whether you're at the grocery store, you see it on a receipt or a digital receipt or wherever, just know that at that moment that you are right where you need to be in your evolutionary experience, guys. Okay, that's the way that they speak to you. Like when you get on YouTube and you'll all of a sudden a video will be there that you've never even looked at. There's a reason for it, and you're drawn to it, and you open it up, right? It's how some of you guys found me, right? It's and it sticks. So just know that, right?
Yeah.
So look them up on Chat GPT. That's the best way to do it. And pick the ones that work for you. Like it's spiritual alignment or this or that. You'll feel it. It'll resonate with you.
Yeah. There's different, yeah, like you say, there's different meanings. And personally, I make these videos because I like to, tell people there's a lot of questions that we have about this type of things. So,
It is.
and we all go through them. Okay, it's not something that, and at the beginning I thought I was going crazy when I started seeing all these sequences, and it is so intense for me that when I started I had to
Well,
do the videos and start understanding this language so that I could communicate. Okay.
sure. What was your first
But
angel number that you saw? I remember mine.
11:55.
1155. Mine
Yeah.
was happened 3 years after my NDE. So kind of like the ascension time, but I woke up, I had a meeting with somebody and I had just fallen asleep, but I woke up and it was 1111. And I said, for some reason, I just stared at that number, like this was profound. Right. So, and like I said, the day that I had that quantum leap, I'm heading to the grocery store, jamming, right? And I just happened to look at the time because I was in, in that mode. And what time was it? 11:11. It's just, it's
Yeah, it can
profound.
be very, very intense. I mean, for me, it is constant. I live like that every single day. I had 9 years like that, and it has never stopped. So that was the first language that I was pushed to learn about and understand, because I could see that it was so overwhelming
Right.
that something was being established, right? And
Yeah.
so some type of communication was trying to, So, and they would tell me also, I would hear, look it up. And so I grabbed my computer, and that's how I started to establish this decoding all the messages that I was receiving. But yes, it can be very, very
Dreams are not as
intense.
powerful as an NDE. Dreams are the ways that
No.
your father and angels communicate with you, but they are not
Well,
any as near. No. Unfortunately, no. But that's another way that they communicate with you in your dreams. But dreams are powerful, yes, but nothing like an NDE, Alex. Nothing. No. You're in a when you have a death, when you leave your body, you are in another realm. You are with Father. Okay. You're not in this 3D world anymore. Right. So when you're dreaming, your soul has left your body, but your body is not dead or dying. Okay, there's a big difference. We all die every night when we dream. When we close our eyes and we hit the sleep mode, the body, the soul detaches from the body and off you go. That's
So
none of
it
you.
is an experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is an experience of the soul. I always tell people dreams for me are also very extremely powerful, but they are messages from your own soul. Okay.
Yep.
The soul knows. For example, the soul is the nearest one, right, to the spiritual side. So the soul knows that this is the time that your ego or your brain, okay, will not get in the way of of the communication, because while we're awake, the soul knows that the only way it has to communicate is when the brain is sleeping, because otherwise the soul, the mind is always trying to overpower and take control. So when we sleep, this is the time that the soul takes advantage of that time, and to convey messages of different kind. It can be personal messages. It can be like to situations that you're living, right? To make some changes or tweak some things and make some adjustments. It can be also premonitions advising you about some situation to come. And also, it can be about premonitions about other people. But they're always messages and of our soul, from our soul to ourselves. And so dreams are very important. I always recommend people to have a dream journal, because once we wake up, if we don't write when we remember, we will forget about that. And we will lose the importance of whatever we have dreamt about. So it is important to journal our dreams, because that's spiritual connection, okay? And that communication is very insightful for our lives. And so dreams, that's why dreams can never be organized, okay? Because it is the soul. So the soul lives in a energetic state. It's not in a physical state where order or form comes into shape. So that's why when we dream, they're like crazy stuff that we don't understand, right? And because our brain cannot comprehend.
You can't comprehend what we're doing on the other side. It just can't.
It's so fast, the velocity of energy is so fast that the brain cannot interpret those things adequately and order them. So besides, it is sleeping, okay? But it is a practice. When you start practicing to trying to remember and jotting down your dreams, then your soul will recognize that you are putting effort into that, and it's like a muscle that you develop. The more aware you start to be of your dreams, the more you'll get to understand them. And
Animals
decide.
have spirits. Yeah, there's animal spirits, because when your pet dies, a cat or your dog or a bird, they go home, right? So they're there waiting for you as well. So there's spirit animals out there, of course. Everything that's
Yes.
alive goes home. Ants, dogs,
Spirit.
cats, birds, worms,
Yeah,
you know.
spirit means energy. The word spirit. You know, when
Right.
you go to a bar, I always tell people, because we hear the word spirit and we think that it's, all the connotations that the word has with it. But
Right.
truly, what the word spirit means equals to energy. Wherever you see the word spirit written, you can substitute it with energy, literally.
That's true.
And that's why we cannot see energy. We cannot see atoms. We know they exist, but we
Can't
cannot
with,
see them.
not with our naked eye, no.
No, we cannot.
Nope.
And so when we're speaking about spirit, it's energy.
And energy is always in motion, your emotions. Right, guys?
Emotion,
So
energy in motion. emotions.
That's your energy.
So it what that means is that it translates for us into energy in motion, emotions. So it's our emotions are literally messages from our spirit or from our soul, mostly from our soul. Okay, spirit is the daring force. It's the in the electromagnetic, it's the electro, it is the daring force, the ignition force there is in the universe. It's the same. It comes from light energy specifically, but that's what spirit is. So spirit is everywhere, same as light is everywhere, same as God, everywhere. Those
Imagine
three
that.
are the thing when we're speaking about that. So it's everywhere. It's omnipresent because it is the very fabric that composes everything that is. It is omnipotent because it has all the atomic power, or every single atom that exists is in there. So imagine how powerful it is. And then it is omniscient. Why? Because all atoms have encoded mathematical information in them that can be decoded. So all informations, all atoms that exist have all the information that there is. So that's why it is omniscient, all information known in there. So, but we have given other connotations to the word spirit, and that's why we get confused. And that's why I also say that it's important to distinguish the soul from the spirit, because the spirit is the, as I said, the effector, the electro force, and the magnetic is what the soul is, which is the one that has vibrational frequency.
Correct.
That light or that electro carries a vibrational frequency to it, and that's what our soul is. So
All right, guys, any more questions?
Every soul has a spirit, has spirit in it, but not spirit doesn't only vibrates to one vibration, which is unconditional love.
And that is
Not
something you guys,
we have different vibrations.
yep. And believe it or not, even though when you walk outside, you're walking into the grocery store and you see 15 people, most of those 15 people are in a different realm, in a different dimension, at a different frequency. But even though you're looking at them,
But they are needed. All those,
they're there
every
because they're
single
needed. But
person has, it's like a pentagram. I like to call it like a music pentagram, right?
right,
All notes are needed there. So one are vibrating are higher notes and other are lower, but that doesn't mean that they are not needed. They are
correct.
needed. Every single one of you has a specific positioning and purpose right now that is needed for the whole system, for the
Right.
whole verse, universe. That's why it's called uni, one, and verse, one verse, one verse. So that whole verse, the whole verse comes together, right? And the music can be heard. So everybody has a specific position, a specific purpose, and everything has purpose. Doesn't matter what kind of life we've lived. Our vibration is unique to each one of us, and that's what makes us different. That's what forms us in a different way. Our experience is formed in a different manner.
That is correct.
That
But
is our unique.
Yeah. That's why when you walk into a restaurant, you see, or a bar is a great example. When you walk into a bar, right? Did I just lose? No, you're there. When you walk into a bar and you see clumps of people around, right? And then you'll see the occasional stragglers sitting by themselves. Those because those clumps of people are vibrating roughly at the same frequency, right? So they're jiving with each other. The others that are, sitting off by themselves in the corners, right? They're vibing at a higher, different vibration, and they're also in a different dimension than you, believe it or not. So, I mean, as Vanessa and I can go deeper and deeper into this, but that's why you see people in clumps sitting together, and why you'll see somebody, come into a restaurant and sit by themselves because they don't want to be around you, right? They're vibrating higher than you and in a different dimension than you. So you'll ignore them all, right?
And I'm sure that that every person here has had a person that comes into their life at certain moment in their lives, and they feel that person has been more meaningful than even people that have been there for a long time. Because again, that's how vibration works. And other
Good
people
night,
that we
Samuel.
meet, they have a purpose, right, in our lives, and then suddenly they're not there anymore any longer. Also, that happens because everything has purpose, and as we evolve and grow inward, right? As we evolve and grow, we're going to be attracting that which nurtures and is needed for our soul to experience. So the people and the lessons that we need at that precise moment are the ones that are going to present themselves. Let me
Don't
see.
say we're gonna live in Star Wars, because we do. I will tell you this: Star Wars does exist, guys. Okay, there are highly advanced beings going around, and just because his father told me they may be technical, they may have the technology, right? But they're not. They're kind of like us, right? They're not well developed, but they've got technology that allows them to do that. So would they probably pick a fight with us or something? They might, but for the
I don't
most beings are highly advanced and choose only love. But there is Star Wars taking place, guys, and Star Trek. Make no mistake about it. There's interdimensional travel. Interstellar travel from one end of this universe to the other. Okay, there's interdimensional travel taking place without question, and that's going to be addressed when the extraterrestrials show up, right, next year, and we start advancing our technology to be able to do that. That's why you're seeing the destruction of what we've built over the thousands of years. Governments and technology and everything is crashing around us, guys. It has to die in order for the new to begin. So it just has to. But any more questions? Because we're over the 2 hours, guys.
Or is it mix of both is accurate?
More Star Trek than Star Wars. You have to understand that there's in the infinite universe, right? In
There's
dimension,
opposite.
there's only 7 humanoid species out there. And do I know them all? No, but I know the number because it was given to me, right? Which means we look very similar. The 7 different humanoid species out there. There are reptilians, the grays, things that look like cats and tigers, and your fish people, and there's trillions of different species out there, guys. Okay, don't think for 1 minute that the universe is just filled with people that look like us. That's not the case, right? There are trillions of different there's hundreds of thousands of civilizations taking place in the Milky Way universe, guys. Okay,
Alone. And there's we don't know how many
Right.
galaxies
I mean,
more. There are.
right.
So it's infinite. So imagine if we can ever imagine the grandiosity of the universe and the gal, it's hard to comprehend even,
Didn't you hear
because it is.
the scientists say that they've just found galaxies that are 12 billion years old? They said they shouldn't even exist, right? They thought the universe was 4.5 billion years old, right? Now they've shown galaxies that are older than 12 billion years old. And that, yes, ladies and gentlemen, there are civilizations in those taking place. I told you guys, you have no idea to the depth of which where we come from and how this is taking place. I mean, you may see a species walk out here that isn't humanoid in any way, shape, or form. Okay. And you guys are going to freak out. There are some that will look like us. And I've been told that by the end of this century, which is now going to be, next
Oh
year,
yeah.
that they're going to meet another humanoid species. Now, how did they get here? Well, they got through the shit show and realized that we got to stop killing and raping and murdering each other and just love one another, right? That's what these species are going to do for us. They are going to help us advance. They're watching the death throes taking place in this earth right now. They will not allow, let me repeat,
No,
they
no,
will
no.
not allow nuclear war. They will not. Okay. It's been used once and only once because it's been stopped ever after. But what you are seeing is the disintegration of the old garbage that hasn't worked for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It's got to go. It has to. In order for the new to be built, the old has to be destroyed. And that's what you're watching take place. And they're going to help us advance. And I'm greatly looking forward to it. Greatly. So, any more questions, guys, before we go? My money is on the Pleiadians. From what I've been told from somebody, they said I am from the planet Sirius. So I'm a Sirian, Sirian. So again, a highly advanced being come here to help Earth evolve as Vanessa and others, to spread our light, to spread the love, to spread the knowledge and wisdom, right? And we, like her, like myself, very difficult lives, because that's, part of being a light worker and a star seed. But so will the Pleiadians be here? I'm sure. So will the Anunnaki. So will the Assyrians, right? So,
Well, they are our ancestors, truly.
basically, yeah. I
They're
mean, how do you think the pyramids were built, guys? By guys that didn't even have the wheel yet, or they did have the wheel, but still with such precision that you cannot slide a piece of paper in between any of those blocks,
no,
not even a
plus
hair. Highly
plus
advanced
what they
beings
weigh,
made those.
tons
Tons.
each.
How can you lift
They weigh
a 500-ton stone 2 stories in the sky 4,000 years ago? We can't even do it now.
yeah.
Yeah, highly advanced beings, ladies and gentlemen. They were here long before helping humanity.
Yes, they are our
Helping, and they're here now. Let me tell you, I'm here. I'm a Syrian. The Pleiadians are here. I mean, how do you go? Listen to this, okay? From horse and buggy, and you hit 1900, right? Then you have the car, the automobile, late 1800s. Then you get the airplane in 1903. And then from 1903, you harnessed atomic energy, the atom bomb. Where the hell do you think that came from? Highly advanced beings. Who sent them here? Father, to help us advance because we're stuck, right? And then what did we do? Then we incinerated 160,000 men, women, and children by using atomic weapons, right?
Yeah.
So it just shows what children will do, right? So just be prepared for what's coming, guys. I told you there's a blackout coming throughout 2026. Blackouts are coming. Loss of all power. No power, no screens, no energy, no nothing. everything's dead. Okay. 2027, along with 2026, massive natural disasters, earthquakes, tornadoes, volcanic eruptions, you name it, it's going to be here. Will people die? Could very well, but that's coming. And then in 2027 is we're going to be visited, and we're going to be, they're going to be not just visited, but they're going to be down here walking amongst us. So, all right, guys. When you say you're a Pleiadian, you mean in a past life, right? No. I mean, I'm a Sirian, Sirian, from the planet Sirius in Orion's belt. It's the middle planet. So Pleiadians are here. So, no forever blackout, but what you're seeing, guys, I've told you this, it's the disintegration of the old. It has to happen. It's going to. And when I mean no power, you won't be able to cook. There will be no power. You can't get in your car and drive. It is a complete and total shutdown. Okay. And it's going to be happening throughout 2026, 2 or 3 weeks at a time. So I would encourage you guys, not as a panic mode, but start getting some canned food, peaches, throw some bananas on the counter, pineapples. You won't be able to cook. Everything in your freezer will go to crap. This is what's coming. It's going to get darker before the light comes. So, oh, thank goodness I'll get through that. You'll get through this mess. Everybody's going to get through it, right? So we have to go through this. We chose to be here at this time, guys, right? Father trusts us without question to get what we need to get done, right? That means all of us are partaking in this together, right? That's what we mean by joining consciousness. Everything you see in the world is a direct result of every single one of us, all our consciousness together, right? Not one person is left out of it, even a newborn. They are part of it.
Universe.
That's correct, right? We're all one. So that's what you see when you look out in your world and you interact with it. It's all one of us, all our consciousness together. So that's when I say we have the power to fix this now, right? We can repopulate the planet with trees. We can clean the oceans. We can clean the rivers. We can clean the lakes. We have to come together as one. Okay. That's the only way this gets fixed. And how do we do that? We love one another unconditionally. And when enough of us come together, this all stops.
Collaborate with each other. Yeah.
A collaboration with each other. We come together and say no more. What do we need? We need to we need to reforest the planet. It gets reforested. And I mean, now we need to clean the oceans. We come together as one and think about it as one. It happens. We need clean rivers and lakes. It happens. No more world hunger. It happens. We have to come together. You have to understand we're the problem. Okay. We've always been the problem. You always feel separate. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, right? We're not separate, guys. That's the whole point of us coming together and talking about this. We're one. Every single person in this room listening is me, is Vanessa. All of you are me. I am you.
We're connected by those threads, right? In the sacred geometry, that quantum field is all connected, because energy is fluid. Energy, you cannot divide it. Energy is fluid.
The only thing energy can do is transition into a different form. You cannot destroy energy. And that's why when we leave the body...
Solid, liquid, plasma, gas.
Right.
Those 4 states. It changes into those 4 states.
And then when we leave our bodies, we go back into our original state of energy and we transition home in a different form, right? It's simply a beautiful transition. That's it, right? We can never die. We are immortal gods. Okay. Get that through your head.
Because energy is always vibrating. It cannot stop vibrating. So it's alive.
That's correct. Nikola Tesla had it down at the turn of the century, and then he
Yes,
somehow disappeared.
vibration, energy,
Right?
vibration, and frequency. Energy is always vibrating, cannot be stopped. No one can stop the atom from vibrating.
No.
If it did, then nothing would exist.
Right. Then Father would have called us all back home and say, oops.
Life has nothing to do with our biology. Nothing.
No.
It is not granted by biology.
Nope.
Life is granted by vibration, frequency, and energy. Those two, the igniting force and the magnetic force.
That's
Those
correct.
are the two. And it's that which causes movement, because if one pulls one way and the other one pulls the other, and it keeps on moving, and that is what it's like, movement, right? And plus the vibration gives us sensations and our, again, energy in motion, emotions. So and if those can't be stopped, then we are always going to be feeling, emoting, and sensing forever and ever, regardless if we have a body or not. Regardless.
Very well said.
Uh-huh.
All right, guys, we're going to end it there tonight. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Good enough. I love
See
you
you
guys.
later.
Thanks for showing
See you
up. You don't have to
next week.
leave right away. Bye, guys. I love you. See you guys next Friday. And of course,
Thank
next
you.
Saturday. Bye, guys.
Thank